Hello and welcome to the 170th edition of Beer Issues. My name is Matt Brucker. I'm coming to you live here from Casa de Brucker. We're going to be having another very good beer. Today we're going to have well, I like to call it a somewhat local beer. It is from First Magnitude Brewing out of Gainesville, Georgia, and it is Wakulla Hefeweizen. I think I pronounced that wrong. It might be Wakulla, but anyway, it's a German-style Hefeweizen made locally in Gainesville, Georgia. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this open, and we're going to talk about it. Now, I've had this beer before, so I know a little bit about it. And for me, because I'm a Florida State fan, something that I'm going to review that comes out of Gainesville has to be extra good. And this beer is a nice Hefeweizen, which is why we're doing this here today. We were up visiting the University of University of Florida because my son was considering going to school there. So we went up there. While we're there, of course, you got to taste the local beer to make sure it tastes good. So we came across this, and it is a really, really nice Hefeweizen. Now, that's not where I originally had it. I had actually originally had it here in Orlando area, up in Sanford, at a place up there, and they had it on tap. And it's even better on tap than it is in the can, but it's still very good in the can. So anyway, you can find this beer at ABC, I believe. I don't know if they'll have it at all ABCs, but we got it at ABC. We did buy it up in Gainesville to make sure we could find it, but I think I've seen it at the local one here also. And they make other good beers, but this one to me is exceptional. Now, one thing you can see when you look at this, you're getting a cloudy off-white color with, you can see good carbonation coming up, but the head's a little bit light. So that's a little shocking to me. Even though I've had it before, I don't remember the head dissipating so fast. Now we'll swirl this around and we get a light lacing that kind of dissipates fast. So, but I do see good carbonation coming up through this kind of somewhat cloudy yellow to orangish beer. And since I've had it, I know. But there's one thing I'm going to try and figure out while we're doing this is there's a particular flavor in this Hefeweizen that's different. It's a certain sweetness that's in there, and I've got to figure it out. So I'm going to work on it right now. I'm going to smell it first. So in the smell, you get like a typical German-style Hefeweizen smell. You're getting the banana, the cloves. I believe there's definitely some coriander in there. But right off the bat, and you can always, it's funny, with a Hefeweizen, you can really tell the quality of Hefeweizen without ever tasting it. You can usually get everything in the smell. And I'm not sure, some beers aren't that way, where you can smell it and it smells one way, tastes completely different. Usually with the Hefeweizen, if you smell it, you're going to know what you're in for. And we're in for a treat, right? And I already know that. But just smelling it, you would know that. So let's go ahead and try and see if I can figure out what this flavor is that's in there. So it comes through, you get the bananas, you get the cloves, you get the coriander, but there's some kind of additional sweetness. And it's going to drive me crazy, I'll tell you, because I can usually pick out just about anything. To me, it almost tastes like honey, but I don't think it is honey. Wheat, Pilsner, rye, hops, Tettnanger, German ale yeast, and Florida water. Maybe it's just a good Florida spring water that's bringing out the additional flavors. I'm really not sure what it is. That's going to be a mystery to me. But boy, they do. Wakulla is actually a spring up in that area along with I think First Magnitude is the spring. So, and the company is really like one of these eco-friendly companies, to where they raise money to keep the springs nice. So they do runs, they do percentages of their beer sales go towards helping out with the springs. They've also get people from the brewery and other people who frequent there. They go out, and I think I had read that they collected like 316,000 pounds of garbage out of the springs area, so they could keep the springs nice and clean, so we could have the good quality water that makes this good quality beer. And that is, one of the keys to making a good beer is your water. And they take pride in the fact that they do that. So it's a pretty cool thing. And I think the story of the beer, it was like 4 friends, I believe, that got together and put together the brewery. All of them just had a passion for brewing, and they've done obviously very well. Now, I don't think I talked about this. The beer is 5.4% alcohol, which is pretty standard for like just a normal Hefeweizen. And this brewery, they have won multiple awards for their beer. They won a gold medal at the Great American Beer Festival for their Drift Session Brown, and a silver at the World Cup for their Vega Blonde. So those are going to be some ones that maybe shortly down the road we might be looking at, because I think I've had their blonde before and it was quite tasty. I haven't had the other one, the brown. Maybe I'll have to look and see if I can find that. But this is an excellent beer. I mean, you can't go wrong. Yeah, it's very good. And they do it in the more German tradition, so you're getting more of that banana flavor. You know, when sometimes when they do Hefeweizens, they'll do them, different in the U.S. or like a Belgian wit. It's different. It doesn't have that banana clove in there. I myself like all of them, all the different Hefeweizens, so I'm kind of open. But this would be definitely more towards a German style, because you get that banana but there is a sweetness into it. It's just gonna bug me if I can't figure it out. It's good. And I usually don't put just U.S. Hefeweizens into my beautiful Erdinger beer glasses, but this one was deserving. I thought they did it true to style, so I went ahead and put it in that. But excellent beer. They rated it 84 out of 100. I would push it up higher, maybe into that like 89-ish, just because I think they did such a fine job of getting it true to style. It is a little bit sweeter, I will say, than most Hefeweizens, which to me is not a bad thing. It's just slightly different. There's that sweetness that I can't put my finger on, and I'm not sure if it's just the great water that they're using. It brings out some additional flavors or what it is, but there's something in there and I can't put my finger on it. But it's delicious, whatever it is. Maybe it'll be a mystery because I just read the ingredients and I'm not seeing anything. Now, I do know that this brewery, they create their own yeast strands to make their beer, and maybe it has something to do with the yeast that they're using that's bringing out just a little bit different flavor. A lot of the breweries just buy yeast from here, there, whatever, but they have like, I guess, some kind of little laboratory where they're using their own strains of yeast, which is kind of cool. A lot of the Belgian beer companies, they have yeast strains that have been passed down through the generations and generations. So they've been using that same, proprietary yeast strain to make their beer, which is why they have such consistency, in their beer. So anyway, I'm getting off topic here. If you've enjoyed this, make sure you tell your friends about beer issues and how much fun we're having talking about beer and drinking great beer. And if they want any cool gear like this cool hat or Beer Issues t-shirts or anything like that, just have them go to shop.beerissues.com, or they can, if they go to our website, I think there's a link that'll take them right to the shop. So you can check that out. And as my wife likes to say, I have beer issues.